losing one of the safest Tory seats in Britain. The Conservative nightmare complete as their long-time tormentor Nigel Farage has become an MP. Heckled by a series of protesters, but his party reform got 4 million votes, although due to the electoral system, only a handful of seats to show for it.
It is very much my view that our outdated first-past-the-post electoral system is not fit for purpose, and we will campaign with anyone and everyone to change this electoral system.
With fewer votes than Reform, the Lib Dems obtained vastly more seats. It was a night of sweet success for Ed Davey, and a morning of sober reflection.
Trust is a very precious commodity. It's hard won. And sometimes you've lost it, you lose it. And you have to work very hard to win it back. And I want to thank people for trusting us again. We will not let you down.
The Scottish Nationalists lost big as Labour rebuilt its red wall north of the border, while the Greens picked up a record 4 seats. This afternoon, we saw the procession of new faces of government walking up Downing Street. A female Deputy Prime Minister in Angela Rayner, a female Home Secretary in Yvette Cooper, and the first ever female Chancellor, Rachel Reeves. It is a dramatic changing of the guard, with a party whose big promise is to change Britain. Jason Farrell, Sky News.
60% voter turnout is crazy.
There's only 2 genders.
Are you kidding me? Welcome to America, baby. What are we talking about? Yo, they're hitting America numbers out there, dude. It's awesome. Low-key Cures needs to implement nationwide grants for AC installment and all housing. It's the only way. I mean, that's one of the immediate things he needs to do. It's not even a joke. Like, the AC situation is not a fucking joke. I'm not even kidding. Like, England needs to come to the first world a little bit on that front. I mean, there's death. There's actual death in this country. I love how Reform's first moves to question the election results. No fucking way they did that. That's awesome. I didn't even know that. All right. We just watched that video. Let's do before we get to the you know, American conversation. Here's Corbyn and his message to the centrists.
On your win, do you want to congratulate Keir Starmer?
It's a fantastic win we've achieved here tonight in Islington North. It's a popular win where people have come forward to support an inclusive democratic campaign. It's a people-powered campaign, and I'm very, very proud of our result. Obviously, as a Labour government elected, congratulations on that. I will be an independent MP. That's what I've been elected as. And I will be there holding that government to account on issues of child poverty, of mental health, and of global peace and environmental demands. And that is what the people of Islington North have asked me to do. But it's also a very strong message that if you tread on democracy within your own party, it has consequences. And so tonight, the people of Islington North have spoken and elected me with 24,000 votes.
But it isn't the message, in fact, that when you take the Labour Party to the centre, it wins a landslide? And if that means, you know, you're on the edges of it, sometimes supporting it, sometimes criticising it, well, so be it.
It's a landslide, yes, in seats, but it is a lower vote than has been achieved in many previous elections. It's only 37% of the national poll, and our political system exaggerates parliamentary majorities because of first-past-the-post system. Now, maybe that's a debate for another day, but it comes with it a huge responsibility. We live in a country which is dominated by the power of billionaires and the poverty of millions. I think we need to change that, and I'm not convinced that the Labour manifesto's...
Oh my God. It's like, dude, it's like, if you're British watching this right now, if you're like a Labour voter watching this right now, it's got to feel like you fucked up. Like this is the ex that got away, and you're just watching them thrive in some ways. And you have to be really reconsidering like what how things turned out the way that they did. Because I 100% believe that Corbyn would have the broad popular mandate in this situation. Oh my God, what a beautiful moment it would be for the UK.
Economic offer will be able to deliver the fundamental changes our society needs. So I'll be a voice to try and bring about greater equality and opportunity for everyone in our society, particularly young people.
Let us just bring in a couple of the people around our table. We have Harriet Harman and Alistair Campbell, and I'm sure they're both keen to talk to you. Harriet.
Well, I think you make the changes that Jeremy says that he espouses by having Labour as the party in government, not by having somebody standing against the party as a maverick on the backbenches. And I think, you know, we've always stood for in the party collective endeavour. Sometimes things go our way, sometimes they don't, but collective endeavour on behalf of the people of the country as a whole. And what Jeremy Corbyn has done is stood out just as an individual and put himself as an individual above social progress for the country as a whole. And I just don't agree with that. I would never do that, put my own interests above the party and the good the party can do the country. So I'm disappointed in you, Jeremy, but I expect that's nothing new.
Well, thank you for what you just said there.
I don't know what to say. There are so many things I want to say, and I am severely limited by the restrictive terms of service on twitch.tv. You will never stop me from thinking the things that I am thinking, but I cannot say it. All I will say is I do not like what she said. It made me upset. Like, it made me very, very upset. Anyway, let's continue.
People of Islington North simply voted for me because we put forward a positive, inclusive campaign, because we offered hope of real change, and also we stood up for democracy within our society when the Labour Party's machinery...
I love that. This cunt is fucking cunt, yeah. In her mind, what Jeremy Corbyn is supposed to do is just die. Like it's not like he was being selfish. Like, she's like, oh, how unimaginably rude that you ran against Labour when they gutted you, when they fucking shanked you, when they deliberately tried to tank the party. Like, what was he supposed to do? Just die? It's really inappropriate that you didn't kill yourself, Jeremy Corbyn. Really, how incredibly cruel and selfish of you. Like, what are you saying? What are you fucking saying right now? Like, many chatters probably don't know the history, but Jeremy Corbyn was specifically gutted under his leadership internally within the Labour Party. The current administrative, the current people who are controlling the Labour Party specifically were deliberately tanking the Labour Party because they did not want Jeremy Corbyn. They did not want Jeremy Corbyn's Labour Party to actually gain momentum. Okay? The people that fucked him over and deliberately thwarted his chances are now in power. Okay? I'm not just talking about calling him an anti-Semite. Okay? I'm not just talking about that, which is one part of it. Keir Starmer played a role in that. I think that with all of that in mind, and I do want to kind of, I don't know, I do want to kind of look into that a little bit today. I do want to, when you consider all of the things that they did Okay, when you consider all the things that they did internally, when you consider how they fucking shanked this man, okay, for being a real one, there's no other way to put it. Okay, real like Joe Manchin and Kirsten Sinema hours over here, but then now the entire party is like Kirsten Sinema, Joe Manchin. Orospu evladı Hasan. Eyvallah kardeş. Öpüyorum seni. I know the Labor Files is the entire documentary on it. But my point is, what was he supposed to do? Just fucking quit public life altogether? Like after decades of service, he was supposed to just quit because like they fucked him over? Insane. Shut the fuck up. Suck my dick. Saying that it's like messed up that he even ran against Labour as an independent is insane after what Labour did to him, okay?
Was destroying democracy in Islington North.
Jeremy, it's Alistair. Would you hope that one day, like me, having been expelled from the Labour Party, that you'd get back into it?
Listen, Alistair, we've just had an election. I've been elected as an independent MP. I am very much part of the wider Labour movement. I've been a trade unionist all my life, and I'll be a trade unionist to the day I die. And I will obviously be campaigning and working with people both inside and outside the Labour Party. But I've been elected as an independent, and that's the mandate I've been given.
Jeremy, it's Rory coming in here. Are you worried that Labour's going to come in with a kind of mini austerity? They're signing up to £18 billion worth of spending cuts. They're ruling out any additional borrowing. They're ruling out tax rises. How are they going to be able to invest in public services and get the country going again if they're running on an austerity package?
I think you've taken us straight to the kernel of the problem. If the Labour manifesto doesn't...
I can't believe I'm saying this, but that question is actually really good. He's absolutely right. And that is precisely the reason why I've been fucking so critical. This is the reason why I'm so unimaginably critical of fucking Keir Starmer.
I fought...
Because their fucking mandate is just Tory light. Not even Tory light. It's just straight Tory. It's really fucked up.
Does offer any substantial changes either in taxation or in redistribution of wealth within our society, then how on earth can you bring about the social changes that are needed? Or are you going to go down the road of further wage freezes on top of the 20% cut in the living standards of the poorest people over the past 15 years? People voted for change and they expect to get it. So I would imagine there's going to have to be some serious heart searching about the economic direction in which this government is going to go, because if it doesn't deliver fundamental change, there's going to be a lot of very angry people out there.
Jeremy, can I ask you one other question? What, if you were still the leader of the Labour Party, what would you do to handle what seems to be one of the developing stories this evening, which is that there is something of the rise of the radical right in this country?